This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
It's time to feel strong, confident, and healed through knowing your spirit guides. They empower you to create your own life experience. Being connected to your higher consciousness and energy allows you to exist in peace inside your mind. Valeria interviews Aliana Ziva Seeger-Madsen. She is the author of 22 Letters from Uncle Jack, How One Spirit Helped Me to Reveal My Inner Knowing. Meet Aliana, a medium, animal medium, and author, currently residing in the picturesque Danish countryside, alongside her husband, daughter, horses, and feline companions. Her journey is a testament to the power of transformation and spiritual awakening. Aliana emerged from a place of emotional and spiritual darkness, seeking answers to her mental and physical well-being. As a child, she possessed a unique gift, encountering spirits and experiences that few could comprehend. Yet, fearing judgment, she kept her extraordinary experiences to herself, a silent witness to the world's complexities. Growing up, Aliana nurtured a deep-seated dream of traveling to the United States, a desire she later pursued. She hailed from a close-knit village where gossip and judgment were commonplace. The weight of societal scrutiny compelled her to conceal her spiritual encounters. In her book, 22 Letters from Uncle Jack, How One Spirit Helped Me to Reveal My Inner Knowing, Aliana recounts a pivotal moment in her life. 3 spirits approached her as a child, leaving her feeling attacked and triggering the onset of voices that would accompany her. Aliana's mission is clear: to guide people worldwide towards clarity and inner knowing, bringing them back to a place of peace within themselves. Life as an animal medium is undeniably rewarding, and Aliana thrives on being the voice for all creatures, both here and in the afterlife. On her Instagram, you'll find her sharing her world with her beloved horses and cats, offering a glimpse into the extraordinary connections she forms with these magnificent beings. Meet Aliana at alianathemedium.com. Here's the interview with Aliana Ziva Seeger-Madsen.
In your own words, who is Aliana Ziva Seeger-Madsen?
Oh, that's always a great question, isn't it? Yeah, but I'm always open to myself and receiving that question from you, and I want to follow what comes through. Today, I feel I am a pure energy of love, and I feel I'm a free spirit. I feel that I am here to walk on earth, and I always feel that I am shining a light around me, and I am always enjoying what I see. I enjoy what I hear. I enjoy what I feel, and I love how everything always is being felt in a new way when I get a question like that, because who I am, that is how I feel, and every time I choose to listen to myself, my true voice, my soul's voice, then I always feel myself in a new way. And for me, it's a warmth to feel who I am, and it is a freeing, emotion that I can always listen to myself, and that is a great part of who I am, listening to myself, because that is that warmth feeling of who I am.
You're gonna make me cry the entire time. That's amazing. I mean, it's just so clear where you're coming from. And not that you come from anywhere, but you're always here and you've been here. Oh, I love that. How I feel, I am the way I feel. And when it gets to deep into the experience of feelings of what's present, and why not that being the definition of what we are, not even who we are? Oh my God, Aliana, I love that. Okay, emotions. Speaking of feelings, right? How do we feel? Yeah, I feel like crying right now because it's just so it's so beautiful. So now what questions could I ask you? I will ask you the question of a big question that I usually ask pretty much all my guests. What do you feel is the purpose, the intention of the human experience?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I was always controlled within my mind and controlled in my entire physical body. So I always lived a life where I wanted to escape my physical mind and body. And that's how my life really was until 2017. So meeting one person, that set me free in less than 10 minutes, that it was where I felt this shift in my life. And experiencing that in 10 minutes, that my mind could shift from always being like that subway. I've been in London many times. So, when you're standing there in the subway and you're waiting for your train, I was never alone. And when I say never alone, that was never a peaceful moment within myself. So that experience now here, that experience of being who you are, for me, that is that fundament of how I feel, where that inner peace is now always within my mind. So for me, that human experience is that I have that peace now within my mind, and from that peace is where I know, being human, that I can navigate in everything in life. So it's, yeah, for me, that is that great experience, and living life with that inner experience of what peace is to me.
Yes, a billion times to that inner peace that you speak of. For some people, it feels and it sounds abstract a lot of times even when I say to my husband or people in my family, cultivating, being just kind of listening to your inner self, to the peace in you, the love in you. Would you say that what gets in the way of that peace that you speak of is being distracted by the mind's content? Because the mind can be a very interesting realm. It just gives us so many possibilities, right, of experience within our own selves. But how do we learn to do that, Aliana? Is that something that takes actually healing modalities, going through the process of healing, or could happen the way it happened to you in 10 minutes? Everything could change.
What I share with all of my own clients, also for them to really feel, their own psychic abilities, that is that I always use 2 fingers on the right side of the temporal bone, like the soft point there is there on your mind. And then I always invite people, and it's a journey of allowing your spirit guides to be there with you, because spirit guides, they always have a mission. They're with you, and that's how I live my own life, always having my own team of spirit guides there with me, but using 2 fingers and allowing a circle to go in the direction that one will feel is where you can continue until that circle will naturally slow down, and then you release those 2 fingers and then you let it go. That is one point, and I use this for tapping as well, but this is one point. When you use this circle, then it's soothing to the mind. So everything that is going on within the mind, because I'm all about what is me speaking, and I'm all about what is my mind speaking, my entire physical body, because for many years I would help people actually with their health, and what is truly spirits, like something coming from outside of us speaking. So being able to tell the difference, so you can really master the energy of who you are, but also master the energy of your own gifts, because you don't have to be me to do this. Everyone can do this. So it's something that I've shared with all of my clients for 6 years now, and how you can release everything that is disturbing to you within your mind.
Yes, it resonates true to me. So being open might be the first step, being open to exploration, right,
Yeah.
Aliana, of our own being.
Yeah.
Wow, you just kind of inspired me to ask a question about the difference between the voices in our minds and the voices of our spiritual guides. How do we learn to distinguish them?
Well, the most simple way of always, connecting to spirit guides, that is actually, I use the same point. And the same point there on the soft point on the right side of the mind. And I always invite one to tap into that point until you feel that your fingers, they will naturally slow down. And then you engage a conversation. And, I really love, I have, to use sense of humor, and I love this grounded energy when we speak to our spirit guides. And, it is all about saying, hi, are you there? Like, I am ready to speak with you now, and I want to hear everything that you have for me. I am ready that you will share everything that I haven't, seen for myself yet, what I haven't picked up on, like what's on the radar, and what is there for me to know now. And they will always speak to you from a loving place. They will never say something to you that is to overwhelm you. They will never say something to you where you will feel anxious, stress, or that underlying old fear that continues to show up. They will always respond to you. And all the people that I've met over the years, often it sounds like their own inner voice to begin with. It is, like you said here, it's a journey of opening up and then allow a new conversation. But it is coming from a wave of energy that is outside of your physical mind. So, speaking with your loud voice and say, hey, are you there? I have this one question, and I would love for you to share a solution. I would love for you to share, because your spirit guides, they really love when you demand everything. They love when you say, hey, I want to know. And the mind, it will not speak in the same way. The mind will often, ask more questions to the question that you have.
So true. Yes, it resonates. See, that resonates with me, of course. I'm just wishing that it resonates with the audience too, people who come across this episode. So one thing that I became curious about was when you talk about the mind, so thoughts, you're actually saying that we are keeping that information within the body somewhere. Aliana, is that correct? Did I understand that correctly? So we have information within the body that was created by the mind being open to the external world and experiences. And then the spiritual guides would be a voice or the energy. It's not coming from the body. It's connecting with the body, but not from the body. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. So if there's something that one, is going through in a life, it could also be a pain in a knee, so where, so let's say the woman in her 40s, and she's been suffering with knee pain, and she's been stressed out over the last 3 months. And then she's been seeing a doctor, she's been seeing, a chiropractor, and she's been, let's say, taking some natural herbs, for her pain, or maybe she's been on some painkillers. That woman standing here now, like wanting to know, like, what is the root cause of that pain? Like, what can I do to deal with all of this stress? Spirit guides, they will come in and share with a woman with that knee pain, that stress. They want to share everything with her so she can see how everything is connected. Because if there's a pain, yes, the mind will speak, and it will continue to speak, and then it will speak even louder, if it's not being listened to. So the body, our entire physical body will always speak, but it will continue to scream louder and louder until we take care of this. But your spirit guides, they will not speak louder and louder. They want to bring you an answer to your question and tell you why you're in pain. They want to tell you where it's coming from, and they want to share with you how it all happened.
It's really going deeper into the source, right? The source, the root cause of why this is happening. This is one of the things that I have been very interested in pretty much my entire life, given my trauma, childhood abuse, and all that. I remember always wanted to know why people do what they do, one, but also how this came to be. What is this called life? What am I doing here? But not only what am I doing here, but how did I get here in the first place? So the deeper I went with all these questions, throughout the years, I remember a very clear moment where I asked the question of, who are you? And then the answer was, you are here, and here is everywhere. So that was my first insight into this expanded, infinite, limitless consciousness. Recently, I think about probably 6 months ago, I asked the question again about, I don't know how I asked the question, but it was something, the essence was, what does it feel here? Like, why do I feel like me is me in a sense of a person? Why do I feel like I am a person, although I'm not? I know I am not a person, or I'm not, let's say, only human. In that moment, something happened where it became very universal. So my sense of self expanded into this, not knowing who I was, but I was very clear what I was. So at this point, that's how I actually say it. I have no idea who I am, but I do know what I am. So just want to share that. And I wanted to ask you the question about the spiritual guides. I know you wrote a book. It's titled 22 Letters from Uncle Jack, How One Spirit Helped Me to Reveal My Inner Knowing. So this is your book. It's on Amazon. I'll have the link here on the podcast notes as well. So talk to me about the book, and talk to me about, which I know your story is there too, but briefly, how did you get to meet your spiritual guides? How did that happen?
Well, growing up as a child, I had many spirit guides. But as a child, I kept quiet of everything that I saw and everything that I experienced. And I have a grandmother, and she's still here, being alive, being vibrant here in Denmark. But as a child, I would see the women, in my family, and when something showed up, and I would present to my parents what I had seen, what I had heard. And, I was 6 years old when my first grandfather died. And, that is some of my early childhood memories, of seeing him full figure standing there, after he passed and speaking to me. And, that went on for a couple of years where he would show up. And so as a child, it was very obvious what was going on, but, everything took over when I was a teenager. So for so many years, I was always like, and now I'm talking about the train station again here, I was always standing there, and, spirits, they would line up, because there's always a message that wants to come through. So over so many years until 17, when one American teacher came to Denmark and helped me. It is from that moment that all those spirit guides that are truly meant to be here with me, that are here to show up for me, that is here to help me, in all aspects of life themes. They showed up, and many of them, they presented to me with their, real names and their names of who they were, when they lived a life here on Earth. And I had many interesting conversations of great teachers, even actors, singers, and, authors. They would show up here, and I felt, being in that environment with spirits, of always feeling that you're learning from the best when you are still on a journey yourself, like you said, of figuring out who you really are. But one, like Uncle Jack, when he showed up in 2018, and he's been with me ever since. It was like one holding up one big mirror, and every time I would sit and spend hours speaking to him, because his voice I can hear outside of my mind. He has always been a spirit guide that speaks to me of another voice. He is of another voice, and that is where I could sit for hours and speak to him about everything, and hanging out with him in that energy is where everything was in the experience of, we can solve this, let us take care of this. And that journey of hanging out with him, then my great grandparents, my grandparents, all from my family that I've known in this life, they started to show up. So it was like, 18 was like a year of bliss, where I would, spend so many hours of hanging out, with my spirit guides, getting to know them. Why are you here? What's your mission here with me? What do you have for me today? And I really, enjoyed, for once in my life, to use my own gifts on myself first before I went out there and used my gifts with other people.
Yes. Wow. What an amazing experience it must be. I still see it as an experience. Of course, a lot of people define experience as only the human interactions, interacting with our senses, 5 senses. But there's so much more to this experience. So much more. Yeah, you met Uncle Jack. And that's why the book, you have his name there. He meant a lot to you.
Yeah.
So the question is, these the spiritual guides, are they always related to us, Aliana, like from this time, from this lifetime and other lifetimes? Or they also could be beings from, I don't know, that we are not even aware of? I just want to ask you that question and see if I can become more knowledgeable about these spiritual guides and where they come from and how they're connected to us.
Yeah, when someone like you, and you speak a lot about, what I've been listening to you today, is that when you speak of the mind, spirit guides, they will present to you in a form that you're ready to receive. So when they show up, as I said before, they are always here to empower you. They are here to bring that healing to you. They are here to talk to you like it's you and I sitting here talking to each other, and they want to show up in a presence with you. And I see someone like you are very gifted when it comes to sensing their presence. So if you and I, we were to hang out even more,
Yes. Oh my God.
and talk more, then it's so simple for you to sense energy from outside of your physical body. So 2 of your spirit guides, and 2 of them are family related. They can show up like a beautiful breeze on your entire left shoulder, elbow, and especially the palmar surface of your hand, where it's feeling that support from them. So you have a great gift in sensing their presence, and you can sit in a closed room, someone like you, and I hear from one of them that she says that it's so simple for us to always be present with you. And when all windows and all doors are closed and there's a beautiful breeze, in a quiet moment, then it's them, that's your family being there with you. And I see someone like you, spirits, they will show up as family here in your life now, and into your 24. And when they show up, it is because your physical body is so used to their presence. So, but spirit guides, they can also show up, where you've been together, and if you're open to past life, I've not known Uncle Jack in this life, but we've known each other in another life. So him coming back now and being that teacher to me is what I needed in my life, where it had nothing to do with family. So what I see here is with you, that it's a soft and loving and nurturing, supportive energy, a family there with you that is making sure that you're walking a path that they didn't.
Yeah, you made me cry again. Oh my God, Aliana. Yes, I love that. The way you explain this so clearly, right? Because it has to be in a way, as you describe them as being loving. And in that sense, is what the mind is used to or ready for. So yeah, right. In my case, it feels like it's people, humans. It has to be I don't think I have seen, oh, of course, I'm sensitive to energies and I can see things, and I probably have seen a lot before that I can't remember, but I didn't really connect with them. I remember it was from a disconnected place from that perspective. But now it does feel like that, as I talked to you off record about meeting people and waiting for the signs, almost like I know that it's through them that the sign will be given. So, wow, how amazing. I wonder why most of us human beings on this journey are not open to it. I mean, I know we can sense, most of us can sense. We know that this experience called human is not only restricted to human experiences. We all know that intuitively. Yeah. But why do you think most of us are not open to explore that inner knowing, that inner world, the spiritual world? Why are we so close-minded a lot of times?
The first that will come to me is that, we are so used to, when we are human, is that everything that we do in life is something that we can hold. We are created to pick up a pen.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
we are created. Everything that is, that inner system within us that we are so used to see it actually there in front of us, we are. And when we see it there in front of us, then, if I present a spoon to you, you know how to use that spoon. and your spirit guides, they always want to speak to what is fully aligned with our inner true nature. And they want us to, so when you talk about your signs, they want you to receive signs. But I also hear, signs, it's a word. We could drive on an open road, and then you can see the actual sign of 38, 38A, that is the next exit.
Yeah.
So your spirit guides, in general, that we are here to pick up things. We're here to use tools. We're here to throw tools away when they don't serve us anymore. We're here to walk a new actual road, to be there, to get there. So, when we are hanging out with spirit guides, it's a choice to say, hey, it's okay that I cannot see them, but I can be curious of getting into a car, not knowing where to go, and then start the car and then drive for 10 minutes and wait and wait for that sign, because now I want to use what you're presenting here, that wait for that sign, because within yourself, you know where to go. Like, you know where to go. And before we started talking today, we talked about horses, and that is what I've come to learn from speaking to animals my entire life, is that, they always know where to go. And I've just been traveling the States, and I was speaking to a seal in San Diego, and, sitting on the beach with her for 45 minutes, she was telling me all about how she moves in the ocean and where she goes and how far out in the ocean she will go to, get all of her nutrition. And she was talking about her health. And then she said to me why the sand of where she was, why they choose to lay there, how nurturing the vibration of the earth is there. So, and when we see a seal, oh, it looks cute.
Yes.
Both eyes, when we are in front of the seal, we want to pick it up and we want to kiss it. Well, I do, but but that is just to answer your question, is that we are, if you see a puppy, we want to pick it up. That's the way we're created. But there's so much, even if it's an animal, of what we cannot see, of what we cannot hear, what we cannot pick up on. But if we say, hey, I am curious of what is going on in there. I am curious of what there is behind that beautiful soft fur. So it's just, spirit guides, they are the same. They can be like a cute puppy, but there's more, behind those cute eyes. There's more behind that softness that we see.
Oh my God. Yes, yes. So you answered my question about why do we always so attracted to the human experience as a physical only thing type of thing. Of course, it's beautiful. I was just kind of reflecting on not having the body. I had a lot of those experiences too, where, sleeping and then all of a sudden I'm trying to touch something and I can't really hold anything because it just goes through it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not in the body. Right. So I can't have those experiences. But going back to being open, that's what it takes. It keeps coming back to me as a message. Being open, receptive to something that we had never tried before, or not being aware of, things that we are not aware of. We choose not to be aware of. Some people say that actually. So I guess that question comes to mind now. Do you feel that some of us actually choose not to listen to the voice of our spiritual guides, choose to have this very human experience, hardcore physical only, or this is just an illusion? They are actually being guided in truth.
Yeah, well, it's no secret that where I live, I see the collective. Also, traveling the States for 14 days, just coming home now 1 week ago, is that where I go, I always feel the great energy of where I am, and I meet joy no matter where I go. I meet smiling people no matter where I go. I'm always experiencing this connection no matter where I am. So it doesn't matter if I'm traveling the States or I'm in Denmark, but I'm always, seeing and sensing and also listening to spirit guides, because there is a difference of where I am. So, starting in a city like LA, and meeting the people there, I could feel, all the different energies there of a collective stress, and collective hustle, and, receiving a lot of messages, of beliefs of how one should live a life because your parents, they did it in this way, so no matter where I am, always pick up, of the collective energies of what is going on. And to me, it is an inspiration of always, showing up here with someone like you to just share something that can open up one's own energy and being in that receiving mode. Because, standing on a mountain in Sedona, there was there was a high vibration there, and I was being present, with nature and those spirits that had walked that mountain. So, when I'm in that energy of energies and I receive all of these messages that is affecting, a collective, then it is a time now that we are in a time now from where you and I are now and until March, where I see someone like you, and the name of your podcast says it all. and there is a time now over the next 3 months where one's well-being is like on the billboard, and all these messages for someone, they're coming from someone like you on your podcast, that is those signs that is now here to come out so many places, because people, they need to be able to tune in
Oh my God.
to another kind of channel,
Yes.
compared to the noisy one that will be on a certain station where everything is coming in from the right and everything is coming in for the left, so it's like decluttering, this time and over the next 3 months, but in a way where you still feel that what you're doing to yourself and what you are acting on in your life is exciting. And, for many people, I know that we are in a time where, one new habit, will be a great thing, like in a new year, and an experience that receiving even like one good habit from your spirit guides, it will be one habit where you will feel motivated right away, and it will be one of those habits that you would want to continue to practice every day.
Yes, a billion times to that vision. So you said that so beautifully. The way I understand it too has been my case, following the signs from other humans, and for me it has come from relationships. So humans, very important to me. And I just started writing recently, and I have been writing the love for humanity, the love of humanity, the love for humanity. That keeps coming back as a message too. So basically, Aliana, it is really, we are walking each other home, aren't we? That's our mission here. In the body, without the body. That's what we are doing. That's what you're doing clearly to me. Your presence had just gave me that confirmation, a powerful one, a very powerful one. And of course, in my case, I have been open, and this is something that's not new to me, because I have been open to, the mystery of life being revealed to me moment to moment. I've been open since I was a child too, but not in the way that you have been. You have been really, really receptive to seeing them, communicating with them in beautiful ways that I can only imagine. I can only have that in dreams. I do dream. Yeah, with people that have passed, they talk to me. Those are dreams. So I can't really play as much with them. So you are just really like living this. I mean, the experience of that they call metaphysic that people can only talk about, most of us. But in essence, that's where we come from. That's what we are, right? That's what we are, not who we are. The universal energies, pure consciousness, as I like to say it too, using words. So I want to go back to the animal. So you're a medium. Let me go. So you have written your book. It's available on Amazon again, 22 Letters from Uncle Jack. One thing came to mind is the number 22. Is there a reason why you chose 22, this specific number?
Because, I am like you, for, a time in my life, I was, always looking for signs as well, because, in my entire 20s, I wanted to know, and I wanted to find the solution to my mental and physical health, because I was ill all the time in many ways. And 22, when it started to show up, it came from when I became a mom in 2013 to my daughter Sophia, and it was, giving birth to her was, going back to being that inner child, being that inner child where everything came to the surface again. And 22 was the way that my spirit, and this was, way before 17. So, they started to communicate with me for me to stop and pay attention. So 22, it became so clear to me when I made a choice over 16 and 17, and I set one intention of wanting to be the best version of me. I wanted to be my true self. And then I started to see 22 everywhere.
Ah,
That
yes.
was like everywhere.
Yes.
And in 2020, then Uncle Jack, he said to me that you're on time now where you want to change the way that you think. And I know that my mission is to help you to feel connected with who you truly are, your highest self. I'm here to help you to release yourself from all old beliefs, all the old ways of thinking, because you are to live a life now where the thought never gets in your way. And he said, I'm sitting with my husband here in Denmark. We rented a cabin here, looking over the ocean, and Uncle Jack said, I will give you a letter every day, and it will come with exercises. And if you follow that for 22 days and you are consistent in what I am to bring to you, then 22 will represent to you feeling who you truly are. So 22, that to me is the fundament in me. And it's once you are there and that emotion is so active, in you, it's a deep trust. That is how I would explain it. It's a deep trust knowing that the way that I feel now, that is who I truly am. And it was a 22-day journey of coming home to myself, where the mind, for the first time ever in my life, was completely quiet. No thoughts, no speaking thoughts.
Wow. See, this is amazing how you listened. And that's one of your beautiful messages to all of us, to listen, to deeply listen. In trust, right? There's something about, now I have, in a way, for some people, it still works, the idea of trusting what our inner guidance and our spiritual guides are telling us. But to me now, it's almost like beyond trust. It's almost like merging the energies that are here with their energy. Just like it's becoming one with it. Because fundamentally, that's what it is, Aliana. We are not just interconnected or connected. We are essentially one ground of consciousness, of existence. There's no separateness, really.
And see, those words are key words, because Uncle Jack, my spirit guide, was also the one that said, if you start saying, I am one and connected, let's say, to my job,
Yes.
I am one and connected to this, I am one and connected. It really speaks into our inner true nature. And that was actually a mantra. So it's like going down memory lane here, because that is one mantra, because I was a healer for many years, and I always had this deep fascination of fascia and how everything was connected, in our physical body, how everything spoke to the mind. And so it's, everything of that. And when we say that, our physical body is saying, I love that, because I am one and connected.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And of course, and this give rise to the separate illusion of self. They call the ego the false self that separates itself from everything else. And I am doing this or that, when in reality, we're just life's dance. It just feels like it's fun though, when that message comes to me, from time to time, I really get to kind of merge with that energy. It's just so much fun. You look at everything as like, this is just another me everywhere, another expression of, what I am. So it becomes fun. It really does. Playful. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I see that in you too, with the work you do. I mean, I know that it carries a very powerful, profound message of bringing back this awareness of oneness that doesn't have, we don't need to say it that way. It has become, we see the word oneness has become this new age kind of concept that a lot of people have been playing with and kind of not really giving too much attention to it or looking for the depth of it anymore. But maybe we don't need words in a way. It's the presence thing, isn't it? It's like sitting here in your presence, although you can't see me. It's just very clear. It's just so powerful. What else do we really need? We don't need words. But the words, they feel like music. And I have to say that too. Let me go back to the topic. I know you already have hinted into helping women. Is this the work that you intended to do, Aliana, from now on, work specifically with women? Or are you open to work with everyone? And where are you meeting them? Online, in person?
Yeah, I would say, I help many men.
I can imagine.
But, I always, it's, I cannot, it's, everything that comes to me, it comes naturally, and we're back to the oneness and the connection. So, I've helped many men over the years, and, they come and they go. But especially over the last, I would say, 2 years, I've helped thousands of women over the years. But especially over the last 2 years, I've been called to continue, to create community and hold space for women, in groups. And currently I'm working on an app now, and that will be a community for women as well. So, I still have a calling, when it comes to women, especially in that community, for them to also feel safe when it comes to, their own life, and especially, their own gifts in mediumship and using their gifts on themselves, and my experience of holding space for so many women, both online and in the physical room, is that, when they come together, and as soon as one starts to speak and saying, the other day I saw my grandmother in spirit. Oh, and when that openness of, when women, they come together, then that flow that is taking place right away, that is something that I love, to be in that environment and see how women really blossom and stand strong in who they are and stand strong in their own light, and they live a life where they speak their truth, and they want to lift up their chest and walk proud, and talk with confidence of who they are, their life experiences. So the women, they are great part of my mission now, but I do so many things.
Yeah,
It's not only, then I have a great voice, with the animals as well. So, I have especially many Americans that come to me that want me to talk to all of their fur babies. So, but it's always, where you are meant to be. And, I have a lot I do in my life now where I'm physically meant to be, especially in the States. So, it's something that always unfolds more and more, but, my door is open. So when your door is open, yes, men, they come and they go, and, and couples. And but for me, it's a playground as well. I don't offer the same thing all the time.
Yes, I can see that, Aliana. It speaks from the depth of the truth of pure consciousness, essence, existence. Yeah. It's always open and all inclusive, and it's definitely not fixed. Yeah, it's not fixed with anything. But there's something about existence. So life, I use life and then existence. They are one and the same to me. There's something about being supportive of itself. It's always, as you use the word loving, there's something about that keeps coming back to as an energy, a very powerful energy, that it's highly supportive. It's always nurturing itself in life, and life in the sense of the body, in the body energies, and then also in death, or losing the body, leaving that essence leaving the body. So there's something about the existence that's, I have to say, that use the word loving. There's something about love and existence that really walk together. So let's see, we're almost at the end. thank you for your presence in this reality, our shared reality. And thank you for being open to the human experience as it was for you, not being able to express those experiences, spiritual experiences when you're young. I share that too. And I know so many of us. To this day, I'm sure there are people out there who are not able to talk openly about these things. They can't, right? I mean, sadly for now, but I love the way your message too about us women, especially becoming more, not just more open to our own energies, but revealing them, expressing them, having that courage to express them. I don't like creating separations. So men, women, and all that. I know that we have struggled a lot in a patriarchy societies, and it hasn't been easy. And I do feel that with my ancestries too, like the lineage that I come from, the energies in me, trying to do things that they have not done before. But there's something in me that tries to make sense and bring all this together in a sense of, again, merging back to existence, life itself, and not trying to be one thing over another, or pick a side, or choose, what is right, what's wrong, and all that. So I know that's why I call it dance, because it feels like that, Aliana. It really feels like this is an incredible dance. Right? Balance all these aspects.
Yeah, and when you say that, when you say that, I've over the last couple of years in Denmark, I've held space for men and women in groups, in the physical room. But when I'm here with the women, especially online, that is overseas, that is. So when I call in women, that is for them to feel safe, when there's truly that safe environment. And then, when one woman has, I know that for myself, that's how I started, in women's circles, where I felt safe. And then, it expanded everything, doing martial arts with men, and instead of always being me, the girl on the horse, so it's, when we experience that safe environment, then there's no difference if we are man, woman, this, that, it is. But that safe environment, that's always been a very, important thing when I meet those women, is that, when they feel that soul sister energy of, I can mirror myself in that, and signs, they come in, as you say, and messages, they will come from someone else, then they can feel that deep connection.
Yes, that's very true. And I do understand that we are all at different levels in this experience called life. So yes, absolutely. We need to be aware of that. A lot of times I love the idea. I come from that understanding that everything is already connected and it's already beautiful as it is. But I know that this is not the reality for some of us who have experienced abuse and lots of trauma. So creating the environment that's safe, that's really important. But for me now, for myself now, it's more like the safety within. I'm very interested in creating the safe space within. So everywhere I go, I feel safe, regardless. But that, of course, that takes a lot of training in being open. As you know, that's a huge part of it. And even being open to whatever happens, because I trust within my own energies, the safe energies within me. I trust that on what to do and how to respond. Oh my God, Aliana, what an amazing conversation in presence you have. So I want to mention again, so your book will be linked to this podcast interview. It's 22 Letters from Uncle Jack, How One Spirit Helped Me to Reveal My Inner Knowing. That's the title. And I want to mention your services too. I went on your website and I saw there you offer one-on-one reading. You host transformative events you just mentioned, and you also do animal mediumship. You do readings for them too, which is a beautiful thing. Did I miss anything? Are there any events coming up, Aliana?
For now, here over the holidays, it's the one-on-one readings that I'm enjoying this quiet time over the holidays here. But in January, there will be events again. But, every Monday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am going live on Instagram with the Psychic series. So that takes place weekly.
Wonderful to know. So I'll have the website, I'll have the book linked. Your website is alianathemedium.com. And your Instagram handle is Aliana Ziva, Ziva, the medium. So I'll have that there too. So the Instagram handle will be on the podcast notes. And before we say goodbye for today, I want to thank you again. And is there anything that you left unsaid, Aliana? Anything that wanted to be revealed? There was a calling to be here that you didn't say.
Well, there was a message now of cutting the cord to the past, and I hear from your spirit guides that this is also a message for your audience, and there is a way of journaling now, a fun way of journaling now to support you, to support everyone here in the beginning of 24. And it's a very playful way of journaling. So, hey you.
Yes.
Hey you. I see you and I hear you. And I know you have some fantastic news for me today. So a new fun way of journaling, but to feel, that great release with the gratitude of 23, especially here we are in this time now. Then there's one point I hear, and this goes for you. And, people can always pick this up if they feel like it. I hear from spirit, and I've not practiced this before, but this is what I hear from your spirit guides, is that above the crown chakra, the top of your head, if you place the right hand there, and then you remove the hand, I hear, from the top of the head, and then you go up until you feel that there's like a natural stop in your hand and in you stretching the arm. Then Spirit says this is cutting the cord, really cutting the cord, and removing the hand from that center line, then removing the hand that is cutting the cord to all the ancestral lines.
Wow. I was trying to do this as you were speaking. Yeah, I felt a pain on my shoulder. Oh, my right shoulder.
You don't need energy attached from your ancestral lines. There's a great love for ancestors, and that one is now being connected to love with the ancestors. That is the one that you and everyone deserve to experience being you, but no attached energies when it comes to the ancestral lines. So, yeah, I even want to practice this myself when we are finished here. So that is. So if there's a natural stop and you release that hand, I hear from a spirit guide speaking on your end, then it is releasing you also from everything that you may have picked up of 23. So it's a great way to do some energy clearing on yourself over the holidays.
Yes, and I will. Wow, I started right now, actually, but I will. Wow, what a gift. What a gift you are, Aliana, to humanity. Thank you so much. And what a gift to that amazing message that I have been getting to about the love for humanity and love of humanity. So thank you so much for being connected to that as a human entity. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll talk again. Take good care for yourself for now, Aliana. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Aliana Ziva, Seeger-Madsen, and her work, please visit alianathemedium.com and Instagram Aliana, Ziva, the medium.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.